This is Arif Sikder. I'm going to present our joint effort on sequence stratigraphic approach to resolve the lithostratigraphic dilemma in hydrocarbon exploration of Bangladesh. Bengal Basin is a unique geologic setup where a rifted passive continental margin basin was gradually closing up due to the oblique convergence of the Indian plate with Burma and Tibetan plate, and that created a space favorable condition of rapid sedimentation for the development of a huge neogene sedimentary basin in an active continental margin. The lithostratigraphic background of Bengal Basin lies with a dilemma, and the dilemma is due to the current use of an outdated and infectious stratigraphic framework which is based on Evans' 1932 classification of the tertiary sedimentary sequence of Assam. Adopting Evans' stratigraphic classification in Bangladesh has been challenged for years due to the diachronic progradation of the basin development, lack of regional marker horizon, and spatial phasis variation. The original Evans proposition of the Assam stratigraphy was chronostratigraphic, and that is basically adapted in Bengal Basin as a lithostratigraphy, and that creates a huge issue in the exploration. So the chronostratigraphic adaptation to lithostratigraphy, the current institutional practice of the old stratigraphic scheme causes difficulties in stratigraphic correlation and paleogeographic reconstruction that is of critical significance in resolving the challenges of assessing the hydrocarbon potentiality of the country and to expand the goal of the exploration from structural to stratigraphic traps. So the adaptation of the lithostratigraphic misleading layer cake model is not applicable for large progradational basin and especially in an active margin. The beginning of the seismic stratigraphic interpretation started in Bengal Basin with the work of Lindsay, Holliday, and Andrew in 1991. Sequence stratigraphy, which includes a frame for integrated seismic interpretation, well line logs, and well data that is largely expedite the exploration by defining the play boundaries and the prospect. So with their work, they for the first time basically identify in the stable shelf, the shelf break, understanding of paleogeography, the key to the successful exploration, planning, and developing the sequence stratigraphy scheme of a basin requires the paleogeographic reconstruction. So this schematic paleogeographic and tectonic evolution of South Asia during late Eocene through early Miocene is presented from the Hall 2012 and Morley and Shirley's work of 2017, and where it's showing the movement is not just northward, it's basically collided in both the edge in the north and in the east, and that developed the Bengal Basin, the in between the two plates. The paleo drainage basin is also very important to understand because the drainage is directly related with the sedimentation. So this is the condition during the early Eocene. So there were transverse drainage, and this is a Oligocene setup of the Ganges Brahmaputra, and that's the present day of the Bengal Basin, the Bay of Bengal. And this is the scenario after the rise of the Indo-Burman ranges, how this Ganges Brahmaputra system is separated from the Irrawaddy system. Based on the paleogeography, shale and cairn energy developed the fast sequence stratigraphic scheme of Bengal Basin based on paleogeographic reconstruction. Eocene, early Oligocene, that is the main phase of the plate collision. And based on this paleogeographic reconstruction, shale cairn identify mega sequence 1 that's related with the late Oligocene and early Miocene sedimentation, the mega sequence 2, which is the major volume in the basin, and that's related with the rapid sedimentation and the sea level changes and massive canyon formation. And the mega sequence 3, the youngest one, that is late Pliocene and early Pliocene to recent, when the tectonic development started in the basin. Paleoshelf edge position, key to the identification of possible source, reservoir distribution in passive continental margin. So the shale and cairn sequence stratigraphic model explicitly shows the shelf edge along with the development of the basin, and this is the scheme basically they developed based on the reconstruction of the paleogeography and putting the lithostratigraphic constant, the mega sequence 1, mega sequence 2, and mega sequence 3. The success of sequence stratigraphy in Bengal Basin. Sequence stratigraphy has already been successfully used in Bengal Fort Deep to locate the turbidite system, low stand system track, and incist valley fields, low stand and transgressive system track. Recently, sequence stratigraphy adopted more realistic depositional model based on sequence stratigraphy. The exploration target has changed and succeeded in discovering new gas field in Bengal Basin by identifying the surface of maximum starvation and the sand ridges. The challenge to cover the whole basin with the sequence stratigraphy. According to the reconstruction, the basin on the west is passive, on the east is active. In the passive situation, the seismic reflection gives a clear picture of the mega sequences, and which is not clear in the outcropping anticlines where the folds are tight. And that is the challenge of the sequence stratigraphy, to make it more applicable for the basin-wide exploration. How the sequence stratigraphy that is developed the offshore we can adapt to the onshore in the exposed fold belt. So we look at the thing in a different angle and try to bridge the gap, and for doing that, what we have observed, ichnofossil might play a very vital role. So we have seen Nerites, a deep water ichnofossil, is observed in the Sango well at a depth of 30,800 meters in core 3, and similar ichnofossil colony is observed in the Bocaville formation of the outcropping anticlines. So it's not possible to just follow the reflector from the offshore to onshore and bridge the sequence from offshore observation to the onshore observation. There are other reasons. The compactness and the velocity is not same for the offshore and the folded belt, and which is conformable with the observation in the Rakhine Basin. So in Rakhine Basin, where they have a large gas field in basin floor fan deposit just tens of miles south of Bangladesh boundary, follows exactly the same pattern. So where the Pleistocene top going eastward is inclined up and eroded. So by following this, we can proceed further to adapt the sequence stratigraphy throughout the basin. And by using that, what occurs to us, the Bengal Basin exhibit a variety geological play and might have a possibility to emerge as a hotspot for further exploration. However, this promising geologic feature needs to be detailed with new geologic and geophysical techniques. Sequence stratigraphic analysis, the sedimentary responses that changes to the base level and the depositional trend, and that appears from the interplay of the accommodation space available for sediments to fill and sedimentation. So our apprehension is Bangladesh is still a greenfield province. Gas exploration success rate of around 1 in 3, highly prospective of discovering basin floor fan sequence in the folded belt. Excellent delta top sandstone reservoir down to more than 5 kilometers. And there are still many large multi-TCF structures to be drilled in the country. Thank you.